All right, thanks, guys. We are once again coming off a 3-2 day on my Patreon website. That's going to put us at 17-4 in my last 21 extra daily picks. The extra daily pick is just $2.99 through the end of the month. Link for that site is in the description section below. Once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, we got ourselves a nice slate of college basketball action here today. Happy Monday to you. Hopefully you had a great weekend. Let's go ahead and dive into some college basketball action. We're actually going to start off with a game that is not currently on our big screen behind me, but it is a game of interest, could potentially be a good one. And I'm talking about Colgate taking on Boston University. 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. Boston U is -1.5 total at 142. We did see a half a point move toward Boston U and movement downward on the total. They open as the 1-point favorite up to -1.5. Total open 142.5 down to 142 even. Right now Colgate is plus $120 on the money line. Now Colgate's failed to cover the point spread in 3 out of their last 4. They're also just 35% against the spread when traveling. Boston U on the other side, 5-0 straight up in their last 5 themselves, 70% against the spread in their last 10. Max Mahoney, 15 points a game, 8 rebounds. Walter White, that's right, Walter White, spelled exactly the same way except for the last name instead of an I. It's a letter Y, but once again, Walter White, 13 points, 7 rebounds, and Javante McCoy, 12 points a game, 4 assists for Boston University. 3 out of their last 4 got over the number. They're also 7-2 to the over on their home court. I'm going to lean toward the home chalk in this one. Give me Boston University -1.5, and the over 142 in that game. Or no, it is on our board. Jeez, Brock. I missed it right there. It is on our board. But anyway, I don't know why. For some reason, I thought it wasn't on the board. It's literally right there. Wow. Anyway, next game, it is going to be High Point taking on Gardner Webb, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. Gardner Webb's -11.5, total at 136 and a hook. We saw a half a point move toward Gardner Webb and movement downward on the total. They open as the 11-point favorite up to -11.5. Total open 137 down to 136 and a hook. Gardner Webb, although they're laying double digits here, heavily favored. They've successfully covered the point spread in just 28% of their games on their home court. They're also just 40% against the spread when laying the points. High Point on the other side, winners of 2 out of their last 3. They also went 2-1 against the spread in those 3 games. They had a successful cover versus Gardner Webb in their last head-to-head matchup. Now, John Michael Wright, he's averaging 15 points per contest, 5 rebounds for High Point, and Curtis Holland III, 13 points a game for him. High Point, 13-9 to the over on the year. Gardner Webb, 70% to the over in their games played under 4 or less days off. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me High Point +11.5 and the over 136 and a hook in that game. All right, next matchup, it is going to be FSU taking on Duke, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Duke's -8, total 148. We saw a 1.5 point fade of Duke and movement upward on the total. The Blue Devils open 9.5 down to -8. Total open 147 up to 148. 64% are leaning Florida State, 54% shaded toward the under. If you like Duke in this matchup here, just keep in mind they failed to cover the point spread in 3 out of their last 4. They're also just 2-5 against the spread in their last 7. They failed to cover against the likes of a struggling UNC team. Took a miracle to actually beat them outright. They also failed to cover against the likes of BC and Pitt. They are shooting just 67% from the stripe at home, and they failed to cover the point spread in 6 out of their last 12 at Cameron Indoor. Now, Florida State, on the other side, they rank in the top 25 in points allowed on the road, top 20 in road defensive field goal percentage. They've been victorious in 9 out of their last 10 games. They're also allowing 64 points per contest on the road. Devin Vassell, 14 points a game, 5 rebounds. Trent Forrest, 11 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. And MJ Walker, 11 points a game, 84% from the stripe. 7 out of Florida State's last 9 games got over the number. They're also 6-2 to the over when traveling. Duke on the other side, 80% to the over in their last 10 themselves. 9-3 to the over on their home court. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me Florida State +8. And the over 148 in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, time for a commercial. I'm going to take a quick timeout and once again, welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for Monday's college basketball action. Happy Monday to you once again. Hopefully you had a great weekend. We are looking to get another great week started off right. Now, guys, I got to quickly remind you to check me out on my website once again at patreon.com/BrockPage, where we do daily premium sports picks on that website, beginning at just $1.99 per month. I went 3-2 yesterday, my 5 premium picks on that site. It's going to put me at 17-4 in my last 21 extra daily picks on that site. We have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to, and that extra daily pick package is just $2.99 through the end of the month. One more thing, we are 6-1 in our last 7 college basketball package plays on that site. Link for that website is in the description section below. Once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, let's go ahead and dive into a couple more games. We only have 2 more to cover here, so let's go ahead and dive into them. Our next matchup is going to be TCU taking on Texas Tech. 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that contest. The Raiders of Texas Tech, they are laying double digits in this game here. And as a matter of fact, they are -10.5, total at 127 and a hook. We saw a half a point move toward Texas Tech and movement upward on the total. The Raiders open as the 10-point favorite, up to -10.5. Total open 127, up to 127 and a hook. Now, Texas Tech is led by Jamias Ramsey, who's averaging 16 points a game, 4 rebounds. Dave Moretti, 13 points a game for the Raiders. And Kyler Edwards, 12 points a game, 4 assists. Texas Tech at certain spots in the year playing some very good basketball. Now, the Horned Frogs on the other side of TCU, they failed to cover the point spread in 7 out of their last 9 road games. They're also just 16% against the spread as the official road underdog. And total-wise, TCU 10-3 to the under when the total was less than 132. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the under in this matchup here. I'm also going to, go ahead and lean Texas Tech. So give me Texas Tech -10.5 and the under 127 and a hook in that contest. All right, next and final matchup for the show, it is going to be Baylor taking on Texas. 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that contest. The Bears of Baylor, they are -6 on the road, total at 128. We did see a half a point fade of the number 1 team in the nation. We also saw movement upward on the total. Baylor opened 6.5 down to -6. Total open 126.5 up to 128. 67% are leaning Baylor, 57% shaded toward the under. Right now, Texas, losers of 5 out of their last 7. They're also struggling against the number on their home court. They've successfully covered the point spread in just 4 out of their last 13 at home. This Texas team struggling to put points on the board. They're averaging 65 points per game. Baylor on the other side, 21-1 overall for the year, 14-8 against the spread in those 22 games. They've successfully covered the point spread in 9 out of their last 11 games away from home. They rank in the top 5 in points allowed. Meanwhile, they're giving up 58 points per contest. That is it. Jared Butler, 15 points a game, 15 points a game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Jared Butler's also averaging 2 steals per game. Maceo Teague, 15 points a game, 5 rebounds for him. And Freddie Gillespie, 10 points a game, 9 rebounds for Baylor. Gillespie averaging nearly double-digit rebounds on the year. Baylor ranks in the top 25 in defensive field goal percentage, top 25 in road defensive rebounding. When it comes to this total, Bears are 60% to the under in their last 10. The Raiders on the other side, 4-1 to the under in their last 5 themselves. They're also 70% to the under in their last 10. So with all that said and done, I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the number 1 team in the land. I'm going to lean Baylor Bears -6 and the under 128 in that game. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where, like I said, I went 3-2 yesterday in my premium picks on that website. That's going to improve us to 17-4 in my last 21 extra daily picks on that site as well. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Monday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.